So I'm here with Mr Smelly.
Hello.
And I first wanted to talk about Jeremy. Now, last time I spoke about Jeremy in a video, I think I might have insulted some of the people that were buying or planning to buy his fragrance by saying that people shouldn't buy it and it was for only for people that couldn't think for themselves. And I kind of wanted to correct that. I missed a bit out of what I wanted to say. So there are definitely reasons why you should consider buying Jeremy's fragrance. Office for Man. I think I called it The Office last time, but it's called Office for Man? Office for Men.
Office for Men.
Office for Men. So actually there are some good reasons why you should consider buying it. So one of them is it could potentially be valuable one day because his first batch is going to be different from everything else or the next batch. So it could be a collector's item, although you do take a risk. It could flunk and end up in the discounters and you might not like it. So, but that is a good reason, I think, to consider buying it. It is by a great perfumer, Alberto Marias, so it could be very good.
It's unlikely to suck.
It's not going to suck, is it?
No.
So there's another thing. It is an expensive blind buy, but I think if you are a supporter of Jeremy, if you're a big fan, then why shouldn't you support someone that you admire? So there are my reasons why you should consider and why it's okay to buy his fragrance. And Dan, have you got anything to add to that?
Well, yeah, good one. That it could be a collector's item because it's the first edition. I think it's definitely going to have a different bottle design
and a different ingredient.
Apparently, okay.
Yeah.
You think, yeah. Apparently, are we 100% sure about that?
That's what I've heard. It's not.
Okay.
I don't know if it's been confirmed, but yeah.
We have heard that there will be a change when they bring out the second version. So the one you pre-order could be really rare and collectible.
Yeah.
Even if it's not worth more money in a few years, if you are into fragrances, that still could be a nice thing to own.
Yeah.
If you own. The other one is that it's not going to be worn by every Tom, Dick and Harry in your local high street because even if it's quite successful, it's going to be much smaller in sales than stuff like Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, etc. So it will be a crowd-pleasing scent, but not many other people will be wearing it. So it does give you that chance to smell different to everybody else. And yeah, there are plenty of good reasons why you might be interested to smell and buy it. So let the debate continue.
Yes. And to all the trolls who spoke to me and mentioned my dentistry, my decor, my weight, I just hope that you find peace and love for yourself at some point in the future. So next up, we're going to be talking about two more fragrances that I think are absolutely fantastic for the office, and you agree with me, don't you?
Yeah, both of these would be great for a man or a woman in the office, we think.
And they're not exactly screaming office, but they're just so inoffensive yet different. So you wouldn't smell like anybody else at the office, but you totally wouldn't upset anyone at the same time.
Very professional and high quality smelling. Yes.
So
what are they?
The company is called Stories by Eliza Grace. This is the press magazine that came with the fragrances. There's #1 and #2.
That's all they have.
That's all there is at the moment. We have the 15ml bottles here. They were sent to me by the company. I did ask them for samples and they were really generous and sent me two 15ml bottles here.
Yep.
And we smelt these a few times now, haven't we? We've had them for a little while.
Yep.
And we've got #1 sprayed, already pre-sprayed here. What do you think about that one, Mr Smelly? And in a sort of terms of wearing it to the office as well.
Yeah, it would be a very safe office scent, very fresh. It's crisp, it's clean, it's bright. I guess you're going to say the notes in a moment, but yeah, it's got some citrus in it. It's got floral notes. It might, if you're going to put it male or female, it leans ever so slightly more towards the female side, maybe, but not obviously that it has to be a female fragrance. So it's a very nice sort of, reminds you of like a spring evening with blossom in the air, citrus, a little bit of woodiness, quite a lot of white florals, and a kind of crisp white shirt or blouse type of feel.
Very clean, but it brings, both of these fragrances seem to bring the outdoors in.
Yeah.
They feel really natural. So the notes of #1, citrus notes of bergamot, grapefruit, orange blossom, cedarwood, jasmine, heliotrope, and a fig tea accord. Amber, vibrant sandalwood, and a hint of vetiver. And I keep saying it smells a bit coconutty without smelling exactly like a tropical flesh of a coconut. And I think that's probably the fig, because the fig can smell a bit coconutty, but it's really smooth and a bit sweet, a bit green, very fresh. If anything, I was going to compare these fragrances to, there would be a Jo Malone kind of fragrance.
Yeah, I thought that was totally spot on, that comparison. Should we mention the price?
Yes.
Should I do that? So you can buy a 2ml sample of these. Each sample will be £5. The 15ml size that we have here, that costs £50. A 30ml bottle is £80, and the best value per ml is the 100ml, which is £120. So that's quite good for niche.
I think that's really good value. What I would do is get the samples, give them a good go on your skin, and if you really like them, just go for the 100ml. That's brilliant value, I think.
Quite a big difference in the value, because the 15ml for £50, that is quite expensive per ml.
That seems a lot, but I do understand that it is quite costly it's actually the cost for the perfumers in a lot of cases is with the packaging and the bottles.
Yeah.
So I can understand it.
It's typically the case, but we notice a real big difference. If you get the 100ml, £120, that for niche fragrances of this quality, that would be really good value. But nice that they give you a variety of different sizes to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we're going to go for number 2 now. So this is number 2. We have it on here. And do you want to read the notes out?
Okie dokie. So, fragrance number 2. We have Bulgarian rose, ginger, cardamom, green tea, honey, tobacco, cedarwood, and then we have in the base a Popanax, tonka bean, and patchouli. Also, amber and musk.
Yeah. So this one, I agree with you that this one leans a little bit more masculine because it's quite green and dry in the dry down.
Yep.
So even though there's mention of rose, I'd say that's quite an underplayer in the composition. It's not really that noticeable.
Neither of us particularly picked up on rose until we read about it.
We didn't know the rose was there until we read the notes.
There's something in that I really like, that I've smelled in a couple of other fragrances lately, and I really find it's a kind of green woody accord that I really enjoy.
It smells like galbanum to me, and there's no galbanum listed, but there's this green dry accord that reminds me of Eau Sauvage Parfum, which is very strong in galbanum, isn't it?
Dior's Eau Sauvage Parfum, You've always said that it is, I'm not really I'm not that much able to pick up what galbanum is in fragrances as you are. So, but it's very nice, crisp, dry. Again, it is sort of fresh, but a bit more woody, less floral. Yeah, very nice. There is
definitely a lot of other little things going on, but I would say that dry greenness is the main player throughout the fragrance.
Didn't massively pick up on...
But there's a slight sweetness.
Maybe now that I think of it, the honey tobacco just subtly in there, but it's not one of those sweet tobacco. It's not like Pure Havane by Thierry Mugler or anything like that.
Absolutely not. It's not thick or heavy or anything at all. They're very ethereal, aren't they? They're not light as such. Well, I suppose you would describe them as light, but not meaning weak.
I think they're a bit transparent, but still good performance from what we can tell. So you've worn them a bit.
I've worn them a few times. Performance is good. It's not amazing and it's not poor. It's just average, but because they are quite light, they smell very, very natural.
I'll just show people a little bit of the stuff from their brochure that they gave us a great kind of brochure about the brand with a good picture on the front, and then some people enjoying idyllic scenes in the woods and things, and a lot of information. There's the lady who makes them.
So her name's Tonya. She's the creative director, and she worked with a perfumer on the fragrances herself in Grasse in France.
And interestingly, the picture for stories number 1 is a lady in the woods, and stories number 2 is a man in the woods. So maybe our guess that one's a bit more feminine, one a bit more masculine could be right.
Yeah.
But they're clearly, what did she describe?
She said inclusive?
Gender inclusive, yes, or gender non-exclusive, or words to that effect. Yep, sorry.
Let's find it.
Where does it say it?
Gender inclusive.
Right.
So you could totally rock it, either of these, regardless. I would just suggest that if most ladies are probably going to prefer number 1 just because it's a little bit sweeter. You've got that smooth figgy, whereas sort of dry greenery in number 2 might appeal more to more men.
My favourite is number 2, I must say.
And my favourite's number 1.
Ah, there you go.
So
there you
go.
we did really enjoy both.
But you can see why I think that they're really great for the office.
Exactly.
Because they smell clean, they smell fresh, it's not offensive, but you would still stand out from your...
Well, and of course, you wouldn't smell like every other person because they're a niche brand, so not everyone's going to be wearing them. But yeah, great professional sense. Also for any other occasion
I think very much daytime casual would be fine as well. They're probably not nighttime scents because they're not very heavy. They're not very mega sweet or incensey or, you know.
No, they don't scream big night out. If you don't need that, you could obviously wear them for a date, for a restaurant,
wear it for whatever you want. Of course you can.
But yeah, you're right. Everything about them
daytime.
says daytime. I wear it to work. I wear it going around about my daily business. And you would smell great.
Yes, definitely. I think that just about covers what I wanted to say. Thank you, Mr. Smelly.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll say goodbye to everybody and see you in the next video.
Let us know if you've checked out this brand in the comments below. Bye-bye.
Bye.